She is the most gracious of Ahura Mazda's powers, his very own beloved. She is also the beloved of the wise and the treasured one of the good mind. Yasna 48.6. It is she who bestows upon man the sustaining breath of life. Yasna 30.7. And comes to the rescue of those perplexed by doubts. Yasna 31.12. Twice she is called Ahura Mazda's daughter, while he brings with him when Zarathustra is invited to place before them his searching questions by which he will attain enlightenment. Yasna 33.10, cf. Yasna 45.4. She is the nourisher of good deeds and furthers truth by inspiring the words and deeds of good men. She illumines the conscience in man through the truth. Yasna 33.13. And is intimately connected with the power as we see in the following verse. O Frashe Shastra, Yogava, come, join the faithful with those for whom we both wish this life's blessings. Blessings where the perfect devotion blends with truth, where the desirable kingdom of the good mind is found, where the Lord of life and wisdom abides in heaven of his bounty. Yasna 46.16. Moreover, the best life will be cultivated by him who speaks with words from the mouth and the tongue of the good mind, and whose actions are performed by hands of devotion. Yasna 47.2. Whose inspired words lead him to act justly. Yasna 44.10. It is she who brings to the caring herdsman the peace of devotion, so that he may take counsel with the good mind. Yasna 47.3. Zarathustra appeals directly to our Métis to let good rulers rule over us. Let not wicked rulers rule over us. Yasna 48.5. A few verses further, Zarathustra asks, when, O Mazda, will your loving devotion, our Métis in harmony of truth, give us good shelter and rich pasturage through your sovereignty? Yasna 48.11. Our Métis, therefore, becomes the genius of the earth. Later tradition faithfully reflects this Gothic view by asserting that her mantle is the star-studded sky. For the sky covers the earth, as Zarathustra further declares. Silent meditation, Tushna Métis, is best for man. Yasna 43.5. Pahlavi writers explain Tushna Métis as silent meditative thought and our Métis as perfect thought in the mind of man. Dinkart, BKIX, chapter 43. Doster Amendallah in the Zoroastrian theology explains the true significance of our Métis. He writes, Vohu Mana teaches man to know Ahura Mazda. Our Métis inspires him to love the Lord. Devotion is the first requisite. Mere muttering of a few formulas with lips is no prayer. Where there is no such prayer, there is no devotion. And where there is no devotion, there is no religion. 16. Our Métis' intrinsic nature is perfectly enshrined in a legend ascribed to Zarathustra by Pahlavi writers, and which was well known in Sasanian times. Here is a rendering of the text. O Ahura Mazda, spirit most holy, who is that being seated beside you? Her on one hand is round your neck, the other clings to your hand. Her eyes never leave yours, nor do yours leave hers. Who is she? Ahura Mazda replied. She is Spendermat, Spenta Armadi, my daughter, the mistress of my house, O song paradise, and the mother of all creatures. 17. Our Métis is the golden thread that draws all the other powers together. For, without love and devotion, the universe could not exist except as an empty shell. Hardvatat and Amaritat. The last two of Ahura Mazda's special powers are Hardvatat, health, well-being, perfection, and Amaritat, immortality. They are described as twins who live in the dazzling light of Ahura Mazda's wisdom. Yasna 33.9. They are the rewards the individual earns by following the truth. The initiate will receive the best by spreading Ahura Mazda's true and sacred word relating to perfection, immortality, and truth. Yasna 31.6. While Zarathustra prays his speech may grow in power to reap up perfection and immortality through the sacred word, the mantra, which emanates from truth. Yasna 44.17. These twin powers nourish the soul in man. Yasna 34. Point 11, and because of his righteous actions, the Ahura Mazda blesses man with immortality, truth, and sovereignty, which flows from perfection. Yasna 34.1. Ahura Mazda announces, my word is best for mortals to hear. They who will offer willing obedience to my word will advance towards perfection and immortality. Yasna 45.5. Hence the souls of the just dwell in immortality. Yasna 45.7. While Ahura Mazda assigns to man perfection and immortality in his kingdom through truth and good mind. Yasna 45.10. Zarathustra offers all his meager wealth to Ahura Mazda in exchange for gifts of perfection and immortality. Yasna 44.18. It is, however, in an opening verse of the chapter dedicated to Shpenta Mainyu, Ahura Mazda's spirit of benediction, and all the powers are mentioned together, indicating that they're subtle interrelationships. Through your spirit of benediction and your supreme mind, you will grant perfection and immortality to him whose words and deeds are in harmony of truth, with the sovereignty of Mazda and the devotion of Ahura. Yasna 47.1. Zarathustra begs Ahura Mazda to guide his work so that he may worship him through the good mind and truth, thus earning for himself and his followers the twin rewards of perfection and immortality. Yasna 33.8. Once again, Zarathustra begs for these through Ahura Mazda's most bountiful spirit. Yasna 51.7. A good Zoroastrian therefore prays for a long life on earth to fight evil till his dying breath, and so earn perfection and immortality. The value of the Gathas lies in the teachings they embody before we turn to them. It might be advisable to review briefly what Zarathustra considers his mission to be. In the opening verse of the Gathas, he prays for the abiding support of Ahura Mazda's ever-expanding spirit of benediction. He pledges all his actions to truth. He seeks the wisdom of the good mind to guide him so that he may gladden Gyalsharva. Yasna 28.1. Here, she symbolizes not only cattle, but also the voice of the oppressed and the forsaken crying out for justice. In the very next chapter, Yasna 29, we learned that Ahura Mazda has appointed Zarathustra as the protecting herdsman of Gyalsharva, who is so brutally treated by mankind. Yasna 29.1 and 6. Yasna 29 concludes with Zarathustra invoking truth, the good mind, and the sovereignty of Ahura Mazda, and appealing to all men to accept the new teaching of enlightenment offered by Mazda as a sacramental duty. Yasna 29.11. After explaining the origin of evil, he begins to preach concerning the sacred decrees Ahura Mazda offers both to the seekers after truth and the worshippers of falsehood. He then boldly announces his mission before an audience of powerful princelings, corrupt priests, herdsmen, and husbandmen, besides the select few addressed as initiates. Therefore I have come to you all as the enlightened guide appointed by Ahura Mazda to judge between the two opposing parties. Let us live in harmony with truth and justice. Yasna 31.2.